Blood pressure represents the force of blood on the walls of the vessels. And sometimes this pressure is called hydrostatic pressure, since this phrase implies that it is a force created by a fluid. For simplicity, we'll just simply refer to it as pressure. It is measured or expressed as units of millimeters of mercury, which is abbreviated mmHg. This unit was derived from measuring pressure using a column of mercury, which is a liquid metal. The higher the pressure, the higher the mercury would rise in the column. These units are still used as the unit of blood pressure, even though most blood pressure measurements are now taken digitally. Blood pressure is highest in the elastic arteries, such as the aorta and pulmonary trunk, and lowest in the large veins, such as the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. Blood loses pressure as it is pushed through the vascular system due to friction of the blood moving against the walls of the vessels. The viscosity or the stickiness of blood causes it to stick to the walls of the vessels it is moving through, and it slows the blood down, decreasing its pressure as it moves. This decrease in pressure also causes blood flow to slow as well, because blood pressure determines blood flow. Figure 20.10 from the OpenStax book shows blood pressure in millimeters of mercury on the vertical axis and the path of blood flow through the systemic blood vessels on the horizontal axis, beginning in the arteries, passing through the capillaries, and ending at the large vena cava, such as the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, which return blood back to the right atrium of the heart. In a healthy individual, blood pressure in the arteries typically moves between 120 millimeters of mercury at its highest and 80 millimeters of mercury at its lowest. It begins to drop to around 40 millimeters of mercury in the arterioles and is around 30 to 20 millimeters of mercury in the capillaries. As it enters the veins, blood pressure drops below 20 millimeters of mercury, and in the vena cava, the blood pressure is typically around 1 to 0 millimeters of mercury.